Good morning, everyone. Happy Snowy Friday. I am so excited to be here. Sorry for the delay this morning. We were scheduled to go on air at 10 a.m., but the traffic did not cooperate. So first of all, thank you, Jennifer, for waiting for me.
Absolutely.
I am very excited to sit down with you. I've known who you are for quite some time, and I know you serve on the social media committee, and so I've gotten to know you a little bit through that, but nothing like this weekly member spotlight to really get to know someone.
Exactly.
So I'm super excited, and I wanted to say thank you. This is your second TV engagement of the week, right?
Yes, yeah.
If Facebook Live counts for a TV engagement. But what else were you on the air about this week?
So yesterday, I got the pleasure to present the Fisher House with a $10,000 check from our Home Before the Holidays campaign. So great job, and thanks for everyone that made BRG their home this holiday season.
That is wonderful. And I see, I don't know if people on camera can see, love your BRG swag representing, and the cup. Look
I
at
am marketing,
that.
so I kind of have to market my
There you go.
my brand.
And off camera, there's another little water bottle over there. Look at all of that.
Just making sure you guys know who we are.
There you go. And no coincidence that you are the director of marketing and training for BRG, so a nice way to represent. I'd like to just start off by saying, if you would take a moment, introduce yourself, tell the folks out there in Facebook land who might not know you a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so again, my name is Jennifer Illanz. I'm at BRG Apartments. I have been with this awesome company for 9 years last month.
Wow.
So I'm the marketing and training manager over there, and absolutely love it.
Well, you've been in the business for, you said 17 years.
Yes.
So like me, you must have started before child labor laws were enacted.
Yes.
How did you get into the property management business?
So it was actually me just looking for an apartment. I just graduated college, and I needed a place. I was out shopping, and I came across a property. It was Charleston at Blue Ash at the time.
Oh, wow. We used to manage that, so I know it well.
Yeah, and so AJ asked me if I was filling out my application. She asked if I was looking for a job, and coincidentally enough, I was.
Wow.
And they said that a community, their sister property, was hiring part-time leasing, and I got the job the following week.
Wow.
And that's how it started.
I love hearing everyone's accidentally got into the business kind of story, so that's good.
Accidental. And I don't plan on leaving ever.
Right? How could you possibly? You'd be so bored doing anything else, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
So in your role as marketing and training manager, what's a normal week look like?
So I kind of do a couple different things, but I develop and kind of create the marketing plans for all the properties.
Okay.
To enhance the brand and increase the market share for our properties as well. So, and then, I get to do some other fun things, plan events for our employees, and decorate and remodel clubhouses. And, if we add a new model, I get to do that too. So,
fun. Yeah. It's so interesting how I was just talking to a marketing-minded person, about how much marketing has changed since we were leasing apartments. I'm like, back in the day, you'd put an ad in the rental guide or apartment guide. People would pick it up while they're shopping at Kroger. And then you might, if you got really creative or really needy, take bags of candy to, the hairstylist in the area or the dentist office or whatnot. But now it's PPC campaigns and SEO optimization and websites, and you must have your plate very full.
Yes, and just knowing what those changes are.
Sure.
I mean, I threw away a bunch of magazines just like last month that we had.
Right.
So they were just sitting around collecting dust.
Right.
So.
Not many publications these days, are there?
No.
So having been in the business for so long and worked on site, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of interesting things.
Yes.
What's one of your memorable property management stories?
Most memorable has to be when I was promoted to a property manager.
Okay.
Within 24 hours, I was woken up by my maintenance technician calling me saying that we have a property fire.
Oh no.
And literally got out of bed, changed, drove, got pulled over by a cop for speeding. He ended up just giving me a warning and said, slow down, the fire department's taking care of it. So, but just get there. I ended up losing 3 apartments.
Oh no.
And all due to 1 cigarette.
Oh no.
But, yeah, so that was my first day, really kind of within 24 hours of being a manager.
Welcome to the industry,
and
huh?
Yeah. So I learned how to kind of deal with that right away.
Wow. Well, thankfully I had to wait quite a while for that kind of experience, but that is a horrible, fire is one of the worst things possible.
It is,
so
and the smell is terrible. And I'm just happy that no one was hurt. I mean, it was just.
Well, and I've thankfully never experienced the injury side, but for people to lose everything, it's unimaginable.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite the story for sure. Yeah. Well, what kind of advice would you offer up to those folks just getting their feet wet in this business?
I would say take advantage of any type of training opportunities. There is so much, no matter how long you've been in the industry. I still take classes to this day. You know, there's always things and laws, and you know, this industry changes all the time.
Right.
So take advantage of that, and then take advantage of getting to know people, not within your company, but in the industry,
right.
You know, vendors, other management companies, just because you don't know who you could run into or meet and develop those relationships with.
That's right.
Such
great advice. And I want to take just a moment to remind everybody what great classes the association offers. And that's a great way to kind of kill both birds with one stone, networking and getting to know people in the industry and taking classes through the association. And also we have the trade show coming up, which is a really great place for both classes and getting to know people. So it's almost like we planned that, and we didn't. It was just very organic advice. So, all right. Well, I'd like to shift gears, if that's okay, and get into a little bit more of the personal questions. And I have to ask you right out of the gate, did you get pulled over by the man you married?
No, that was years ago.
Okay.
But yes, so I am married to my awesome husband of 8 years, and he is at Ohio State Highway Patrol.
Right. When you were telling that story, I was like, she's going to turn here, I think, maybe. No?
No. And he, you know, luckily he pulled me over once just as a joke with another property manager. But no, and then we have two beautiful girls, Isabella, who is 6, and my Avery, who is 3.
Aww. Do they get along well?
You know, for the most part. They do drive each other nuts.
Yeah.
But, you know, they do love each other. It's that sisterly love.
Right.
I'm sure in a couple years.
That's a pretty good age difference too for sisters. So
it's probably could have been a better gap, but you know.
Well, they'll have years of probably really getting along, and then years of like you're on my nerves, and then they'll come back together again. And as grown-ups, it'll be perfect. Though.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's exciting. Your girls get out of school today with the weather?
They did, yes. So kindergarten got, you know, canceled. So no AM kindergarten and preschool. She doesn't go on Friday, so worked out.
That's nice.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a play date with Dad today.
There you go. That's really fun. Well, what do you guys like to do as a family in your off time, and what do you do in your own time?
So, stuff that I like to do personally, I like to work out, kind of is my stress reliever. I go running. I enjoy that. As a family, I mean, it's just tough because of the different work schedules that my husband and I, he's off on different days. Right. So we kind of like high five each other when we see each other on the weekends. But I enjoy going to church. I'm involved in that as far as, you know, have a women's group that I'm involved with.
Where do you go to church?
Crossroads in Mason. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then no more kids for us, so I get to hold babies on the weekend. So that's my baby fix, so I can give them back to those parents.
There you go. Well, that's fun. You mentioned when I got here this morning that you had been at the gym this morning, so you must be hardcore. Get up in the weather and trek to the gym. Good for you.
Yep. So I try to do that at least 5 days a week for myself. Yeah.
Are you a distance runner?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be training for the marathon this year.
Oh, the Flying Pig?
Not the Flying Pig, which hopefully BRG will have a group doing that. But I'll be doing, Air Force.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, in September.
That's
so it gives me some time to train.
Are you going to do the 5K for rent?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm going to run this year.
That's probably like easy breezy for you.
See.
You could probably run it twice in the time most of us take to walk it.
We'll see this year.
Well,
I'm going to try.
Hopefully it'll be good weather again. It was really great last year. Cool. Well, what about reading? Are you a reader? And if so, what's one of the best books you've read recently?
So a book that I've read recently would be Let's Go for a Drive, but that was more because it's a kid's book.
Oh,
and I don't do much reading. I try to. I did recently read Fear Fighting in my women's group and kind of strength and stuff like that, encouragement. So
when you're running, do you listen to music or podcast or books or anything?
Sometimes, I mean, I run my long distance runs. I get to do that with my sister. So we are typically talking. It's just our time to really kind of connect because we don't get to. We're both busy moms. But usually I love music, and that's kind of an interesting thing about me. So that kind of gets me motivated to, if I am in a workout.
Like, what's one of your great songs on your running playlist?
I like dance. I like just, or any type of remix.
Right.
So, yeah.
So we have a music question, and it's about concerts. What's one of the best concerts that you've been to?
There's a toss-up between One Republic and Kelly Clarkson, and I got to attend both of those at a conference, and amazing.
I saw your answers, and I did too.
So much fun.
It was so good. Well, the One Republic, because it was at the Mandalay, right? And they were like in the water on a stage. It was so great.
Yeah.
And then Kelly Clarkson, like, you cannot go wrong with her.
I didn't realize I knew so much of her songs.
I know. She's so
awesome.
great. I love her. I think that one was just a couple of years ago too, wasn't it? Yeah. So that one was really good. Yeah, at Petco Field.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. I wasn't remembering where, but well, cool. That's fun. Every time I hear "Girl on Fire" by Alicia Keys, that used to be like my number one song on my running playlist. It like gets me motivated to go do something. So I was excited to ask you that question. What about any pets?
I have a dog. She is a fox terrier.
Okay.
She absolutely loves the Frisbee. We actually taped her for one of our kind of, not necessarily commercial, but for our website. We were doing some visual movement on there. And so we used her as an extra. And she did great.
What's her name?
Josie.
Josie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That name just came up in a conversation I was having, actually. I like that name.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite foods or restaurants, Jennifer?
I love Mediterranean. I don't necessarily have a favorite restaurant. We don't really go out much.
Right.
I'm not taking 2 kids by myself to a restaurant.
Right.
And then Italian.
Yeah.
I can't go
Can't
wrong
go
with
wrong
that.
with that.
No, pasta.
There's a new Mediterranean restaurant. I think they're just building one over here by the association office.
They have tzatziki's, which is
I
really
haven't
very good.
eaten there, but I saw it, and there's one over pretty close to our neck of the woods, off of Tylersville. There's one over there, and I keep seeing it. I'm like, I need to check that out.
Oh, I'll have to check that one out. They had a really good one off of Fields Erdel, but they got rid of it. And they put a hotel there.
Oh, no.
So disappointed.
Well, you can't miss Italian restaurants, but the Mediterranean ones are
They're
more few and far
fun.
between.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what's one of your favorite movies or TV shows?
So I don't really watch a ton, but kind of a thing that I've been doing lately is on Friday nights I watch Dateline. I don't know, those murder mystery shows kind of intrigue me.
Like that.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know. And then I do like The Office. I think that's just that humor. Kind of some classic movies. I love Flashdance. There's my dance and music, then Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, that's funny. We could quote that one for days, huh?
I know. So just some one-liners from that are just fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, random question. If you could be any TV character or movie character, who would you be and why?
Yeah. So I kind of thought about this. I think Joanne Gaines is just amazing. Just her, just being a mom of 5 kids, interior design. I went to school for interior design, so I love that side of it.
Fun.
And she's just a business owner.
She was at the NAA conference a few years ago.
I didn't go to that one.
I don't remember which city. It was really great. She and Chip were both there.
Yeah.
And it was they didn't speak about really the apartment industry all that much. But it was so relevant just to entrepreneurship and partnership and teamwork. I was very surprised at how engaging they were. And they were just on stage, sitting on a sofa talking with a microphone and talking. It was so
she's just
cool.
like one of us. She doesn't
really
have
is.
any. Yeah, I just think that she's just an amazing person.
Fun.
So, yeah.
Do you, when you're decorating the models and stuff, do you use her Magnolia brand stuff?
Not really. Sometimes, it just really depends on what we're kind of envisioning the space to be. But I'd say probably one of our newer remodels is kind of Steeplechase. So Nicole was here last week. We just recently remodeled her clubhouse, and so it's kind of got a little, a little country ish. Some, the we did the back or the wall and stuff, like
Shiplap.
shiplap. I'm like trying to think of that.
That's
Yes,
her
thank
word.
you.
I think she introduced the whole country to that stuff. Yeah.
So that turned out really, really nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was so hoping to be here for some of the BRG people that I don't know. And thank you, by the way, for enlisting so many people to participate in this. But I used to manage the Orchard of Landon years ago. And so Steeplechase was always one of our comps. And I always loved that property. And I really didn't even realize BRG managed it until, I don't know, not too long ago.
Okay, yeah.
And then we managed another property over in that submarket. So when I think about this industry, that little area of Cincinnati is what I know best. So I'm partial to all that.
Well, I worked years ago when I kind of started. I was working over in Deerfield at another property, so we might have been
Which
comps.
property?
It was years ago. It was Conservatory at Deerfield.
Oh my goodness.
That's where I started full time.
I remember when it was built.
Yeah.
And didn't it have one name before the conservatory?
So I want to say it was, well, now it's at Somerset at Deerfield. So I don't know what it would have been before that.
I think it had a name, then it sold, it was Conservatory. Actually, Village Green, the VP that hired me, she moved from Chicago and she moved to that property.
Oh, really?
And I was like, wow, I mean, that was the best property in the world over there.
Location.
And then I think they built Nantucket either right before or right after. And I was like, how do you compete with these beautiful properties? Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I've known you like in that past.
I think so.
Past property management life. So another random question for you. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
So this was a tough one because I just don't see myself as an animal, but kind of asked a few folks what they thought too. And what kind of comes to mind, it would be like a gazelle. They're fast animals. They run. They are, they're
graceful.
They're graceful. Actually, they're even under pressure. They are. And they're always in packs. And I tend to be around people, not kind of lonely or anything like that.
I like that very much. That's a great answer. And I like that you ask people what they thought, because that is a very interesting question.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites to see like what people come up with.
I know, there was another one and I just cannot put myself to call myself the other animal, and we won't even name it. But...
Okay, you'll have to tell me off camera.
I will.
Okay. All right. Just a few more questions and I'll let you get to your weekend, Jennifer. What's one of the best vacations that you've been on?
It has to be Hawaii. I went there. It's kind of like a second honeymoon. That I went with my husband and obviously my husband honeymoon, but my sister and her husband.
Okay.
So we combined 2 weeks that we got together as a gift. And we went to Kauai and Oahu, and it was the weather, the scenery, the food. We were pregnant, so we couldn't eat all of the, good food that they had there, but it's just beautiful. So
I must go. I have not been to Hawaii. Yes, I've heard that. Do your girls like Moana?
Oh yeah. We had a Moana theme party.
Oh,
for my
cool.
youngest one
Every
year.
time I watch it, and that's probably not my favorite all-time Disney movie, but favorite of recent time, the classics. I gotta leave room for, but yeah, every time I watch them, I'm like, when am I gonna plan my trip to Hawaii? That has to happen.
Definitely a bucket list item to do.
Fun. Do you have any vacations planned for this year?
We'll probably go down to see my parents. They live in Florida, so we tend to go there every few months.
Fun.
And we'll just maybe one day I'll save up and go to Disney. But I'm just not ready to take on that right now.
It's worth it. And having two girls, you might want the youngest one to get just a little bit older so she'll remember it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I was telling a friend of mine is going, and anytime I see someone's going, I like insert my nose there and I'm like, let me tell you about this and that and this, and I'm going to send you all these little tricks and
then I'll talk to you when we do plan.
I have a document that I've saved and like edited, but I was like, just having the picture of your family there, like in front of the couch. It's so chaotic and so crazy. You couldn't possibly see or do everything. It's like truly a fantasy to even think that. But just to have the picture, it's like such a great memory. So you'll want them to be old enough though. Yeah. What part of Florida do your parents live in?
Bradenton. So it's right by Siesta Key.
Oh yeah. Well, that's nice. Just going somewhere where the sun shines most of the time is a vacation, right?
Yeah. But I think we've had better weather here than they had there.
Well, I saw they had tornado warnings and everything last night. That's crazy.
I know. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, one more question, unless there's anything else that you want to share. Anything exciting going on that we didn't talk about already?
I mean, we'll see what your question is, and maybe we'll
there you go.
Find
well,
out.
My question is, share a random detail about yourself that we wouldn't otherwise know.
Well, I'm excited to announce that I was just recently installed in the Greater Dayton Apartment Association. So excited to get my feet in there and, you know, promote that market. We've got 8 properties in that market. So just want to, you know, kind of just get more involvement. And, you know, I'm on the education committee. I'm actually the head of that one, so we'll
at the GDAA.
Yep,
exciting.
Yep. So we've got some really great people. We've got some great things. We're actually going to be doing an ALP course this year, so that's something we haven't done in a while. So we've got a great education agenda going on.
Well, congratulations. That is quite an honor to be on the board of directors there. And I saw that your name goes on the glass.
I know.
That's very exciting and fancy. Good for you. And I think it's really awesome that, especially since you're based here, I mean, your office is in this building, and you're very involved with this association. So the fact that you've committed to be involved with another association is very commendable. And I just think that's amazing of you to do that. So thank you for your service to our industry.
Absolutely. Yes.
This has been fantastic, Jennifer. It's great to get to know you a little more. And it's so random that we have been in the business for close to the same amount of time. We have kids close to the same age. We live in the same neck of the woods. So this initiative is for this very reason. We've created a bond now, and hopefully lots of folks out there got to know a little more about you. Hopefully no one gets pulled over by Officer Illanz anytime soon, like he pulled you over randomly. But it's been great to get to know you, and thanks again for your dedication to the GCNKAA and the GDAA. I'll thank you on their behalf. Thank you, everyone. I didn't mention this at the beginning, so I wanted to take a moment to say we are less than 2 weeks away from one of the premier events that we put on at the association. Mr. Dave Lockard presenting his State of the Industry address on February 18th. If you have not registered, you definitely want to do that. It is the most attended event that we have, and I know the tables are going very quickly. So please call and get registered if you're not already registered for that, and we look forward to seeing everyone there. Come say hello to Jennifer. I'm sure she'll be there.
I will be there.
If you haven't met her, make sure you find her at that event and say hello. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Bye.